Good morning, Travis Heights, and thank you for joining us this morning for our principal update. And we have special guests with us today, Miss Martha Maupin, who is our cult. We have Mr. Kent Haas, our Director of Media and Technology. We have Mrs. De La Torre, our amazing assistant principal, and myself, Michelle Navarro. So happy that you were able to make it out to meet with us. Remember, this is also recorded, so you can always go back and reference it. We're going to begin with Miss Maupin, going over characteristics, understanding dyslexia, and then there will be a short Q&A that you'll be able to ask her if there are any questions that you might have. If you are watching this and as a pre-recorded session, please feel free to email Ms. Maupin with any questions that you may have, as she is our call and our dyslexia designee. Take it away, Ms. Maupin.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, here is our presentation. And we're going to talk about what it is, what it isn't, and what we can do about it. I'm going to discuss the definition, the system and process involved in reading, the characteristics of proficient readers versus readers with dyslexia, and then evidence-based interventions and things you can try at home and some resources for you guys. All right, what is dyslexia? And this is a long definition, and you'll see it in everywhere posted in all the websites that I'm going to give you the resources for. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you because it's important. Dyslexia is a specific learning disability that is neurobiological in origin. It is characterized by difficulties with accurate and/or fluent word recognition and by poor spelling and decoding abilities. These difficulties typically result from a deficit in a phonological component of language that is often unexpected in relation to the cognitive abilities and the provisions of effective classroom instruction. There's secondary consequences, and they may include problems in reading comprehension and reduced reading experience that can impact the growth of vocabulary and background knowledge. And I have a video that I want to share with you because this video kind of tells you a little bit and explains this big definition in lay terms.
Take a moment to...
All right, one sec.
Frustrating?
Can you see it now?
Take a moment to read the following. How was that? Frustrating? Slow? What were those sentences about? They're actually a simulation of the experience of dyslexia, designed to make you decode each word. Those with dyslexia experience that laborious pace every time they read. When most people think of dyslexia, they think of seeing letters and words backwards, like seeing B as D and vice versa, or they might think people with dyslexia see saw as was. The truth is, people with dyslexia see things the same way as everyone else. Dyslexia is caused by a phonological processing problem, meaning people affected by it have trouble not with seeing language, but with manipulating it. For example, if you heard the word cat and then someone asked you, remove the C, what word would you have left? At. This can be difficult for those with dyslexia. Given a word in isolation like fantastic, students with dyslexia need to break the word into parts to read it. Fan, tas, tick. Time spent decoding makes it hard to keep up with peers and gain sufficient comprehension. Spelling words phonetically like S-T-I-K for stick and F-R-E-N-S for friends is also common. These difficulties are more widespread and varied than commonly imagined. Dyslexia affects up to 1 in 5 people. It occurs on a continuum. One person might have mild dyslexia, while the next person has a profound case of it. Dyslexia also runs in families. It's common to see one family member who has trouble spelling, while another family member has severe difficulty decoding even one-syllable words like catch. The continuum and distribution of dyslexia suggest a broader principle to bear in mind as we look at how the brains of those with dyslexia process language. Neurodiversity is the idea that because all our brains show differences in structure and function, we shouldn't be so quick to label every deviation from the norm as a pathological disorder, or dismiss people living with these variations as defective. People with neurobiological variations like dyslexia, including such creative and inventive individuals as Picasso, Muhammad Ali, Whoopi Goldberg, Steven Spielberg, and Cher, clearly have every capacity to be brilliant and successful in life. So here's the special way the brains of those with dyslexia work. The brain is divided into two hemispheres. The left hemisphere is generally in charge of language and ultimately reading, while the right typically handles spatial activities. fMRI studies have found that the brains of those with dyslexia rely more on the right hemisphere and frontal lobe than the brains of those without it. This means when they read a word, it takes a longer trip through their brain and can get delayed in the frontal lobe. Because of this neurobiological glitch, they read with more difficulty. But those with dyslexia can physically change their brain and improve their reading. With an intensive multisensory intervention that breaks the language down and teaches the reader to decode based on syllable types and spelling rules, the brains of those with dyslexia begin using the left hemisphere more efficiently while reading, and their reading improves. The intervention works because it locates dyslexia appropriately, as a functional variation in the brain, which naturally shows all sorts of variations from one person to another. Neurodiversity emphasizes this spectrum of brain function in all humans, and suggests that to better understand the perspectives of those around us, we should try to not only see the world through their eyes, but understand it through their brains.
All right, let's keep going. All right, so that's the dyslexia. So we know that it's neurobiological origins. There is evidence that dyslexia, like the video said, is heritable. There's genetic factors in it. 1 in every 5 students displays characteristics of dyslexia. Proficient readers use different parts of the brain than do the dyslexic readers. Skilled readers activate the back part of the brain. Dyslexia readers overuse the left frontal and right frontal regions of the brains. But like the video said, the brain we can normalize to some extent this deviation after extensive intervention. Common areas of difficulty are, like the video said, it's phonological processing, rapid naming, and orthographic processing. Phonological processing are just manipulating the sounds. Rapid naming are just fast automatic retrieval process, like if somebody asks you to name foods, kids with dyslexia will get stuck and will not be able to give you a list very fluently about what foods they can name. Orthographic processes, memory for letters. For letters in words, identifying words and symbols, letter word recognition is a big problem with kids who display characteristics of dysgraphia in the early grades. Say in kinder, we can start seeing this kind of start evolving. So research says, a lot of people have asked me about visual therapy for dyslexia, and research just states that there is no benefit found with vision therapy. It has to be more multisensory intervention. Reading and skills involved in reading. So reading integrates the several different systems. It's visual, it's phonological, you have to use working memory and language. Proficient reading involves decoding, sounding out the words, the fluency, quick and accurate reading, and comprehension, understanding the meaning of text. Characteristics of proficient readers. Proficient reading requires general awareness that words have parts, specific awareness that these parts are sounds, and the linkage between the sounds and the printed word, and understanding that the printing word and spoken words are related. Let me see, can't see the top. If my child has difficulty reading, does that mean that he or she has dyslexia? Dyslexia is only one of several internal reasons for why students may not be learning how to read. Not all students with reading difficulties or those who identify with a specific learning disability will be considered to have dyslexia. For example, a student has reading comprehension problems. The mechanical side of dyslexia is there. The mechanical side of reading is fine, but the difficulties persist in deriving meaning. So that child might not qualify for dyslexia, but we could intervene for, we do have some interventions for comprehension. If my child has dyslexia, does that mean that he or she needs special education? Special education is not the only answer to this challenge with dyslexia. It is an answer for a selected group of kids with more severe, oh gosh, it keeps moving, one sec. It is an answer for a selected group of students with more severe manifestations. I guess I must have timed them, sorry about that. It is important to understand that students' specific problem area, it's important to understand the student's specific problem area and design an intervention around that area. There is no one-size-fits-all treatment for dyslexia. There are many intervention programs available to address specific areas of dyslexia. What can we do for dyslexia? Instructional interventions. It is important to match the intervention strategy with a specific problem area in the students. Decoding interventions versus fluency or comprehension interventions. Some of the evidence-based interventions recommended by Austin ISD are Take Flight, Really Great Reading, BLS, and Wilson. Those are the main ones that AISD uses. What can be done at home? Make it fun, download some apps, expose them to a lot of print, have them read or to their pets, make up stories, watch TV with closed caption on, and of course, audiobooks are a good way to keep the vocabulary to match their cognitive ability. Here are some resources for parents. There are some books that I really like. Overcoming Dyslexia is really good. The Dyslexia, I don't know what it keeps going on. The Dyslexia Advantage, unlocking the hidden potential of the dyslexic brain is an amazing resources for parents, and it's one of my favorite books. Here are some websites for you: the International Dyslexia Association, the Learning Disability Online, the Dyslexia Center of Austin, and of course our Austin ISD website. And I'm going to take you to that because that one has, can you guys see that? Yes? All right, this one has,
no, Ms. Muffin, you can't
oh, so this is the dyslexia website, and it, again, you'll see the definition of dyslexia, and then it has a list of like the common characteristics. If you suspect your child might have dyslexia, you can just reach out, just click here, go to common characteristics, and it'll give you, yeah?
We can't see it. We still see the PowerPoint.
Okay, let me share that. So then it'll give you a list of all the characteristics of dyslexia. Preschool. Let me minimize this part because it's, there we go. So in preschool, it gives you all the characteristics that we see. And then the kindergarten and first grade, some characteristics that you might see. And you can see in preschool, just delay in learning to talk, difficulty with rhyming, pronouncing words differently, difficulty in adding new vocabulary words, inability to recall the right word, trouble learning and naming letters and numbers and remembering the letters in his or her name. And in kindergarten, the same thing. So in kindergarten, we start decoding. So difficulty in breaking the words into smaller parts, into syllables. Example, baseball can be pulled apart in baseball, or napkin, napkin. If they have trouble doing that, that is a sign. I mean, we need to just keep an eye on them and figure out if this persists. It might be a characteristic of dyslexia. Difficulties identifying and manipulating sounds. He will not be able to break up the word man. He won't be able to say and difficulty remembering names of letters. So we'll see if we see any of this. it's something that we need to talk about, and we're gonna just keep a tab on them and see if that is just developmental or if it's something that persists that we need to look for. We need to just look more into it. Okay. And I think that's about it. I think one of the main things that I want to make sure is that in Travis Heights, I am the cult, so I do provide interventions, and those for the kids who have severe dyslexia. I do Take Flight, which is a 2-year program that is a therapy level program for those kids who really just are really struggling with reading. And then we also have, thanks to parent contribution and Ms. Navarro, we do have Really Great Reading, which is an amazing program. Also, where we're going to start targeting all these areas starting in kinder. So kinder starting to do Really Great Reading, first grade, second, third, and we're going to it's building up. And it's also an approved dyslexia program from Austin ISD. So I think we're going to be hitting. So all those kids who may not qualify for the therapy level, say Take Flight, will be getting interventions with their classroom teacher every day for 20 minutes with Really Great Reading. And so Take Flight is also, most people consider it the gold standard, but like the video said, everybody is different, and some people might not need that level of intervention. And if that level of intervention is not needed, we will recommend Really Great Reading, because we don't want to pull them out for a whole hour every day unless it's very severe. And just know that we've got interventions in place for those kids who are not getting Take Flight.
And when we go through the process, we always work collaboratively to decide each individual child what program will be best suited for them. And it's a committee, and it can look different, but it always is a collective view. And so, Ms. Maupin, thank you so very much for all this rich information. We will be we can now open it up to any questions that parents may have, and we can move forward with that. Feel free to unmute yourself or put your question in the chat if there's any questions for Ms. Maupin. I'm going to give about maybe 2 more minutes, and then we'll move along.
What is the process to seeing which is the best program for them?
So we look at a lot of data. We look at data, we talk to the teachers, and then we meet as a committee and decide, okay, is this a severe, in what level is this dyslexia? Is it just something that we can provide interventions in the classroom, or is it severe enough that we can that we need to provide a therapy level program? But it depends. We look a lot at data, and we listen a lot to the teachers, to the parents, and then we meet as a committee and just look at the data and decide what is going on.
I would recommend that if you have any concerns with your child and their progression, to definitely reach out to the teacher, and then we can begin to collect data to see if there is intervention. We definitely always want to look at the teacher first to provide support. And then if there is an intense level of training that needs to be acquired either by a therapist, then that's kind of where we start to move up. But definitely there's a collection of data. Conversations are then begin so that we can start to monitor the student and see if they're making progress. Because many times it could be glasses, it could be hearing, it could be other things that we want to eliminate. At any point in time, if a parent is concerned and they want to pursue different routes, then that's when a meeting between Ms. De La Torre and myself, the teacher, can be had, and then we can start talking about what options a parent might have to pursue other avenues. But we definitely want to make sure that and our initiative Read by 3, which means that we expect that all students are to be reading on grade level by 3rd grade. That's one of the reasons why we've invested so much money into our reading program, so that we can provide the adequate training that teachers need, and give the kids the hands-on experience that they need, so that they can be reading by 3rd grade.
Thank you.
All right. If there aren't any other questions, we're going to go ahead and we're going to begin with our principal update. Again, thank you for joining us this morning. It's great to see everyone out there in our Thunderbird family. Thank you for joining us. This week of instruction, as we return face to face from remote, has ran exceptionally well. Our team has been working diligently to make it work. We have gone from 48 kids beginning in week 5 to rounding out about week 13 around 128. So parents, keep up the great work of working remotely or sending your children face to face. Please remember that school does begin at 7:35, and that we need children to be here ready to learn, so that our day's jam-packed with fun activities and learning, and so we need them here. And our day ends at 3:08. We are currently working on continuing supporting our rapid testing rollout available at these. It's also available at Austin Public Health. If you need more information, reach out to our nurse, Louie, or Austin Public Health to get more information. We definitely will put the links in the chat, and you can also remember our friendly e-folder that you can sign up at the Travis Heights Elementary website to make sure that you have the most current information. This is just another method of receiving up-to-date information for what is to come ahead. We'll also be able to give you site locations within the chat, and you'll see a link to a COVID testing informational flyer. Please continue to be mindful and follow the guidance of the health office officials to prevent the spread of COVID. Preventing spread keeps schools open. All right, I'm going to stop right there so that Ms. De La Torre can translate and do her thing.
Buenos días, padres de familia. También les quiero informar que sé que la información de dislexia no fue hecha en español. Al final de enero tendremos la traducción para ustedes. También vamos a compartir la traducción de nuestros niños que pueden ser dotados talentosos. Entonces busquen la información al finalizar de enero para que también la tengan en español. Hemos terminado otra gran semana aquí en Travis Heights. Empezamos la primera semana con 48 alumnos. Ahora tenemos aproximadamente de 128 alumnos en el edificio. Continuamos con nuestras pruebas rápidas de COVID. Se pueden venir a la escuela, necesitan contactar a nuestro enfermero, Mr. Louis Rish, para más información. Sí, también hay la oportunidad de hacerse la prueba rápida a través de la salud pública de Austin. Si necesitan información en los lugares de donde pueden ir para tomar la prueba rápida de COVID, también Mr. Rish les puede dar esa información. Pusimos un link en el chat también al que pueden ir para más información en dónde pueden ir a tomar las pruebas rápidas. Okay, Ms. Navarro.
Remember to mask up. The best way for families to help Austin ISD in the coming weeks is to ensure their children are following the best practices and safety procedures at home with friends. Please wear your mask at all times and frequently wash or sanitize your hands. Finally, please avoid large indoor gatherings. Help spread the word with Austin ISD mascots. We're going to throw in a really very cute and just a wonderful PSA of how mascots are helping us to spread the word on keeping us safe during this holiday season. A few friendly reminders. Winter break will be taking place December 19th through January 6th. Due to COVID, the PTA has decided to postpone the Cultural Fest until the spring semester. However, please look up for an update from your teacher on how you might be able to participate and join the Cultural Fest. But we will address and give more information as we approach the spring. Brag on your teacher, that's right. Rave about someone who has served you well. Please help us to recognize our dedicated staff members by submitting a rave. If you have had an exceptional experience interacting with the Travis Heights Elementary staff, please nominate them. We're going to throw that link there in the chat so that you can recognize really great work. Prospective parent tours. We still have parents very eager to join the Travis Heights community. Learn about and take away virtual tours through our Travis Heights Elementary. Please, parents, share the word. Our next virtual parent tour will be pre-recorded and available through our YouTube channel. The link will be posted on our website by Tuesday, December 15th, available at any time. Travis Heights is a proud community-led in-district charter school. Meeting and hearing from our current families are the best way to share great news about our school. We have exciting events coming up that we would love for you to invite your friends, neighbors, and coworkers to attend and learn more about Travis Heights. Please remember you can register. Please make sure that you tell anyone who has anyone interested in pre-K 3, 4, and kinder, dual language, or even outside transfers. This is the opportune time to come and take a peek at what Travis Heights can offer you and your family. And we'd love for you to join our wonderful nest. Registration occurs in the coming months, so important dates to remember for dual language is pre-K. For registration for dual language, January is an important date to kind of just keep track of. Please remember that all dual language applications will be done online this year. If you need any help or questions with registrations, please give a shout out or call Ms. Gio Montalvo at 512-414-4495 and she'll help you. She has that amazing customer service and smile that will greet you each and every day. Admin is always available to discuss, so if you need help going through the process, feel free to email us or call us. We will help support you so that you can join our amazing faculty, staff, and family at Travis Heights Elementary. Look forward to having another live parent event scheduled at the start of the year. And I'm going to let Ms. De La Torre take that part and go ahead and share what I've just covered.
Padres, les recordamos que les pedimos que por favor continúen lavándose las manos, los niños continúen lavándose las manos, estén a distancia cuando están fuera de su casa. También les pedimos que por favor usen su cubrebocas en cualquier lugar que estén. También les recordamos que por favor, si vienen a dejar a niños a la escuela o los están dejando del coche, también por favor, por la seguridad de ustedes y la seguridad de nosotros, continúen a usar su cubrebocas al dejar a los niños. Se les compartió una vez más el video de los mascotas de Austin ISD para que vean el video juntos en familia. Les recordamos que las vacaciones de invierno son del 19 de diciembre hasta el 6 de enero. Debido a COVID-19, nuestra organización de padres ha decidido posponer a nuestro festival cultural para la primavera. Así es que todavía les recuerdo que vamos a estar marcándoles para que nos ayuden como nuestra comunidad de familia a grabar estos videos o a compartir cualquier cosa que quieran presumir sobre su cultura. Otra manera de presumir es si pueden llenar el rave para presumir el gran trabajo de sus maestros aquí en la escuela. Los invitamos a que hagan eso también. Vamos a tener un tour para los padres que les gustaría mandar a su niño o niña a nuestra escuela, a Travis Heights. El siguiente año esto será virtual. Así es que busquen el video en nuestra página el 15 de diciembre, que es un martes. Registración, ya va a ser el semestre de invierno, así es que la matriculación de nuestros alumnos ocurre en el siguiente semestre. Para nuestros padres del programa que les gustaría ser parte del programa dual o pre-kinder y kinder, les recordamos que hay fechas muy importantes para ustedes que hay que cumplir. Entonces, si necesitan información, llamen y pidan hablar con Miss Giovanna Montalvo al número 512-414-4495. También les queremos decir que Administración, Ms. Navarro y yo estamos aquí para ayudar y contestar cualquier pregunta que tengan. Ms. Navarro.
Thank you so very much, Ms. De La Torre. And a really, really big, huge virtual hug and shout out to our amazing PTA. Parents, I cannot tell you how important it is to support our PTA at Travis Heights Elementary. Without the PTA, we would not be able to accomplish half of the hopes and dreams that I have for Travis Heights. And so PTA has so very generously stepped up to buy us air filters, air purifiers for our teachers at Travis Heights Elementary. This was a huge endeavor. At one point, we were not going to be able to purchase them just because of the lack of funds. And like the superheroes that they are, they came to the aid of our teachers. And they have been able to save the day. I'm so happy to tell and share the news that if it was not for PTA, unfortunately, we would not be able to have that afforded to us. And so again, a really big appreciation pump to our PTA for showing up when the call was sent out that we need the air purifiers to help create a safer environment for all of our students, and especially for our teachers that are working so diligently to meet the needs of our students and show up fearlessly to provide your children with the opportunities they need each and every day. So thank you again, PTA. As a real quick wrap up, thank you for all of your support, each and every one of our Thunderbird families. And please let us know how we can continue to serve you, your children, and your family best. And please make sure that you are taking all safety precautions and that we're here to help you any way that we can.
Entonces, al terminar la junta, queremos un momento, tomar un momento de agradecimiento a nuestra organización de padres. Esta semana ellos pudieron, gracias a ellos, pudimos ordenar purificadores de aire para cada salón en nuestra escuela. Sé que mencionamos casi en cada junta que por favor sean parte de la organización de padres o que pedimos ayuda para que en cualquier área que necesitemos ayuden. Y eso es porque sin la organización de padres, nosotros no podríamos hacer muchas de las cosas que hacemos para el beneficio de nuestros maestros y nuestros estudiantes. Por ejemplo, esta compra que se hizo. Ellos, por la recaudación de fondos que hacen cada año, pudieron comprar varios miles de dólares de purificadores de aire para que nuestras maestras y nuestros estudiantes al regresar se puedan sentir más seguros, estar un poco más seguros, aunque no podemos prevenir la entrada de COVID-19 al edificio al 100%. Con los purificadores de aire sí va a haber un poco más de seguridad que la que ya tenemos. Entonces, otra vez, un fuerte abrazo virtual para nuestra organización de padres y nuestros padres que no son miembros ya de esta organización. Por favor, contacten a Meredith Giles si gustan ser parte o gustan saber cómo más pueden ayudar a nuestra escuela.
Real quick reminder from Ms. Hassim, who is our parent support specialist. Parents, any codes for kids distributions that you might have requested will be taking place on Tuesday, the 15th from 8 to 2 and Thursday, the 17th from 8 to 12. So she is calling you. Please pick up the phone. We're trying to reach out to make sure that your child has a coat. if you've requested one. And please let your teacher know if you weren't able to put in the request for a coat, that we will diligently work to try to see if we can get other donations to try to help you during this very chilly winter season.
Un recordatorio de Mesura Hasim es para nuestros padres que han pedido un abrigo o una chaqueta para sus hijos. La distribución será el martes 15 de diciembre de 8 a 2 o el jueves 17 de diciembre de 8 a 12. Entonces es importante que le contesten las llamadas a Ms. Hasim para que puedan venir a recoger los abrigos o las chaquetas que se han mandado. Entonces, si pueden contestar la llamada de Ms. Hasim para organizar cuándo pueden venir a recoger esos abrigos.
Breaking news, breaking news. FYI, that our Thunderbird t-shirts have arrived. Please make sure that you are checking your class dojo, the e-folder, the website. We will be starting distribution of t-shirts this Saturday. So guys, please come pick up your shirts. I will be sending out the times or through the e-folder and through the website, and I will ask teachers to send out a dojo reminder that t-shirts will be able to be picked up on this coming Saturday, the 12th, and also I believe on the 19th. So 2 Saturdays in a row in the morning. We'll send out those reminders. If you can, please come by, pick up your shirt. We've ordered you one, and we can't wait for you to be looking sharp in that Thunderbird attire.
Nuestras camisetas de Travis Heights han llegado, así es que por favor vayan y vean o en Dojo o en nuestro e-folder o en nuestra página para ver los horarios de cuándo pueden venir a Travis Heights a recoger sus camisetas. Los días disponibles serán este sábado y el siguiente sábado, entonces el día 12 y el día creo que 19. Entonces vayan a Dojo, vayan a nuestra página o inscríbanse para el e-folder para ver a qué hora se pueden recoger las camisetas.
All right, Thunderbirds, y'all have a great weekend, and we will have another principal update next week just to share any new recent information. Take care, stay safe, and take care of one another. We'll see you soon.